Hi everyone and welcome back to this tutorial. As you remember on our last lesson, we continued drawing the different elements of the lower and upper level for a project. Now on this video we will draw the roof of the building as well as its structure. But first let us finish drawing these elements over here. For example, these fish tanks, we just need to draw a couple of lines. Then trim it there and there. Also this floor line here, trim it, and finally this interior wall. Remember we said there are 30 centimeters thick, so offset 0.3. And okay, now to draw the roof we're going to use again the polyline tool, but now we're going to make some adjustments so we can convert this straight polyline into a curve that can fit our drawing. Let me show you. So we ask for polyline and we draw the line like this and here. Now we have to select the polyline, and as you see it shows this blue control points, and whenever we hover on them AutoCAD will display a menu, and from these options we are going to select convert to arc, and now we can convert this curved line into an arc, this straight line into an arc, and we are going to do the same with these other two segments and this one over here. So we have this one single line that make these two curves, and next step is going to be to offset this roof line 1 meter so we can use it for our structure. So offset 1 meter down, and the next thing will be to join these two diagonal lines of our facade so we can find a center point so we can draw the diagonal lines of the structure. For that we're going to use the chamfer tool, so CHA for chamfer. We click on this line, and here we get the center point. Now let's draw a circle using the center point so later we can have it as a reference. And now let us trim these lines, and we're going to use the polar array tool to draw the rest of the diagonal lines of the structure. So we click on array, select the diagonal line, and we select the center of the circle as the center point of our polar array. We're going to change the direction of the array, and we're going to start making some adjustments in between the drawing and the parameters on top. So let's say there are more than 6 elements, let's say 15, and now we have all these lines. Maybe reduce the elements. You have to make the adjustments till you find the proper arrangement, 13, 32. Okay, this looks fine. Now the next step is going to be to exploit this polar array so we can edit the lines as individual lines. So we have to select the array, we type X to explode it, and now what we're going to do is to trim the lines on top. Okay, and also we're going to trim the lines down here using the top edge of the back wall. And now we're going to make a couple of adjustments on our drawing. Okay. Also, we're going to move this line down here so the facade line goes at the same point of this wall, because it's going to be a bearing wall. Then we are going to extend this line using the extend tool and trim these other lines. And to finish drawing the structure and the roof, we're going to trim the lines between these beams. So we're going to select all the lines and just trim the part we don't need. There you go. Now we finally finished drawing the base cross-section in AutoCAD, but before printing it and import it to Photoshop, we're going to draw a human scale and a chair to have them as size reference for when we start adding entourage and furniture into Photoshop. So we'll go down here, and just with the polyline we're going to draw. So we're going to draw a small rectangle for have it as a human scale. So let's say 1.7 meters height and 70 centimeters wide. Down here, and just make it a little bit more stylish maybe. Okay, now for the chair we're going to say there are 45 centimeters height, for 60 centimeters wide, and for the back 30 centimeters high. Just a simple line. We're going to erase it later on Photoshop, but it's going to be useful to scale down our furniture as well as our entourage. Okay, now let's move the image to a side so we can see our AutoCAD drawing by itself. And you can see we still have the same idea, the same drawing of the building, but we have it drawn with proper dimensions and a proper scale. On our next video I will show you how to print this drawing into a PDF so we can import it to Photoshop and start adding textures, light effects, and entourage. So thank you for watching and stay tuned to our next lesson.